It's not alcohol. I'm here with Enzo, man.
Yes, yes.
You know, the first thing I noticed is your stature. And is it was it you know how the perception, did anybody was like, man, you an artist, you're not playing football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I play ball too, but people, assume that you something else as opposed to a creative
Just
force.
Be a visual artist.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, I did play a little bit of football and I played a little water polo, but I guess it was a different plan for God to have me do something different. So
What before I go into asking what went into the character, can you tell the people about the character?
Anoji,
Yeah.
Anoji basically represents kid in us, the kid in us.
Right.
That's what Anoji is a kid that represents that person in all of us.
Right.
So when people see Anoji, that's what it represents.
Right.
And so for me, I wanted to make a character that was a certain tone of color and a certain shade that literally represent brown, black, any sizable color.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So it's universal.
It's very universal and unisex.
Unisex.
So you are basically the character can be represented, or it can based off of its hair color. So like downstairs you saw a girl, but there could be one with a black wig and that's literally a boy, or a gray wig and that's a boy. It's pretty much what you want it to be versus what it is, and that's literally the reason why I created the character, because it's like we live in a certain world where characters are so sexist, like Super Mario is like Super Mario and Luigi, and then the damsel in distress is Peach. You know what I'm saying? So like, I wanted to make a character where it wasn't so one-dimensional. That was like, oh man, it's very universal and international, but it showed it represented people of color.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of characters out there, but there's not a lot of characters out there with the people of color, and that's what I wanted to make. So
That's interesting because from people of color, the things that you describe, it's a lot of closed-mindedness, not outside of our community, but within our community. What inspired you to come? Was it actually to break those barriers? Because it was easy for you to have like representation of a black character as opposed to what you're saying where you could take it anywhere. Did you feel any resistance, or did you even care about any resistance coming from within as opposed to taking it out? Because a lot of people think that the resistance comes from outside, but a lot of times it comes from within our community of people of color who are kind of closed-minded and don't really get that.
I mean, the main thing that I wanted to focus on is literally just having a character that basically I don't know. It's just it was I would never really put myself in a box, and I never put myself in a box when it comes to my art.
Right.
So I don't look for resistance, or I don't even look for people's. I would say I do value people's opinions. I feel like even though people have opinions and you necessarily don't have to give a care about them, I definitely value them because I like constructive criticism. But when it comes to the character, not necessarily so much, because I've grown up in a world where there's literally been characters that don't look like us. I mean,
Right.
like you really think about it, there's Nintendo, and there ain't no character in Nintendo that look like us.
True.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing in that world, whether it's Sonic.
Not even the basketball games back
You know what I'm
then.
saying? Like, yeah, I mean, come on, man. Like, if you really want to be realistic, you know what I'm saying? There's no character back then that was representing us. And I was like, yo, I want to bring that back where it's like, you got something just as dope
Right.
as Mario, but that represented us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I created the character. And that's the reason why I took the time and liberty to collaborate with this man right here, Glyph, you know what I'm saying, to get that thing done, because I was like, you know what? It's cool to see something on paper, but it's different when you see something three-dimensional.
Right. Right. You know what? So definitely branding in store when you said that, because if you could take that character and have it visual, you can put it on book bags, you can put it in video games.
Yeah, I mean, ain't nobody about to do what we about to do. And I know it sounds very cocky, but I'm not saying I'm cocky. I'm confident because our strategy and our plan to execute this character well is different than what people are doing with their art. It's different what people are doing with their characters. It's different what people are doing just in the art world, period.
Right.
I value the art world as a business because if you're using your talents just like a basketball player or a musician, you should get paid for it.
Right.
You should get paid for it just like they get paid for the price that they are in playing those sports. You know what I'm saying? You get players that get paid $14 million for a course of 3 years just to play on the NBA team. It's like, but then when somebody says, hey, you know, pay for my art, they only want to pay $10 for it. It's like, I'm trying to bring that value back and bring also that value back in our African American communities as far as art, because a lot of people in our communities don't really look at art besides just something on paper. You know what I'm saying? They really don't connect with it, and I want to bring that connection back.
Do you feel like it's opening up as opposed to, like, you know, I mean, how long have you been doing it?
I've been doing it all my life, but I started taking it really seriously these past like 5 to 6 years.
Do you feel like it's opening up as far as the market and black people? Are they becoming more receptive to the art world and black
I
artists?
feel like people are definitely becoming more receptive to the art world, but I also think people are becoming more receptive to art, period.
Right.
Because if you start looking at some of these brands are connecting with like corporations and stuff like that, and that's kind of what I deal with Champs. That's kind of what I deal with a lot of different corporations like the Chicago Blackhawks and stuff like that. And
Right.
it's literally, you know, taking that art to a whole nother level.
I know you about to mingle with the people. I want you to two things. I want you to tell people, you know, where they can find the art. I heard you taking it overseas too, like real soon.
Yeah, I mean, this character is literally, actually, to be honest with you, we're not even going to start its market in Chicago. We're immediately starting overseas.
That's smart.
And because the reason why is because we want to break those barriers, and we also want to not only break those barriers, but we also want to create a fan craze in the international market.
Right.
You look at Hello Kitty and all these different places, you know, they immediately go crazy over that stuff, and I feel like it belongs in that world. It belongs overseas. It belongs in that market to eventually come back to this place and come back to Chicago and come back to the United States, where I know it'll be more receptive once other people are rocking with it.
And you born and raised here in Chicago?
I'm born and raised here in Chicago. Born and raised.
Represent. That's love, man.
Yeah, man. I love the city, man.
Tell us, man, tell the people, man, who they want to, you know, if they're not at this fabulous event.
If they're not at this event, man, definitely check me out at IN_ZO on Instagram. Follow me, man. We got a lot of big things coming up in the next 2 months. Rock with us, man.
That's why we shouting out for Black Truth News, man. You know what I'm saying? We're here with Enzo. He has a dope art collection, man, that's going overseas. Check him out, you know, at the just check him out, man. You know, he's doing big things, representing Chicago. That's homeland, man. And we appreciate you, bro.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you for having me, man.
No problem.